From the Sun, Beast Bungle, deported child diddler, 24, who illegally returned to the UK, is snared after trying to claim benefits. I don't know why this is news. What's this news for? The Sun will still report anything. Telling the great British public that a prolific sex offender who wasn't born in the UK was deported and then he came back and then he tried to get on benefits. Now, that's not news. News is supposed to be like interesting events from recent days. This is like the norm. In the UK, this is as ordinary as the BBC hiring a newsreader who subsequently sends a picture of his nutsack to a 12-year-old boy. This isn't news, lads. It's a daily occurrence. Right, I'm covering this story because I've done a few light-hearted ones lately. The channel was basically turning into Crime Watch, wasn't it? So I thought it was time to go back to our roots and tell you that no matter what the Prime Minister says, no matter what lies the mainstream media give to you, they can feed you it all day long. The story remains the same. Carl Benjamin was daft enough to say recently, "Oh, Shabana Mahmood's doing a good job deporting people." You're having a laugh, Carl. You're having a laugh, son. What are you talking about? Oh, sorry, Shabana Mahmood.
Some more wine, you brown-skinned slut.
Yeah, she's not doing a good job. No, she isn't. Definitely not. And I'm going to read you this story because the most shocking elements of it aren't that he tried to get back in. It's that, well, when you read what he did and what he got sentenced to, I think you'll probably blow a gasket like I did. This drove my blood pressure into 4-digit territory. If I cut myself shaving now, it'd go off like an IED and blow my sink, my mirror, and 2 internal walls to bits. It's unbelievable. So I hope you're sitting down. Let's have a read, shall we? There he is. You don't want to look at that too long. Obviously, he's a swarthy foreigner. Sebastian Pavel Balatu was sentenced to 3 years for the obvious of a child under the age of 13. So when I read that, I thought, first things first, there's no way you can get 3 years for attacking a child. I thought maybe if he was like 20 and she was like 15 and a half, maybe then, a couple of years. But that's not the case. It was a child under the age of 13. And I'm sorry, if you can find anyone on God's green earth that thinks a full-grown man in his mid-20s rattling a child under the age of 13 should be able to walk after less than 20 years of hard labour, or, I suppose I'll meet the lefties halfway and say we'll let him out after 15, as long as I can give him electric shock therapy, with the caveat being every watt has to pass through his genitals. All right, that'd be my saving mercy to the lefties. But that is outrageous that he was sentenced to 3 years for that. So how long do you think he did? Lots of you lot accuse me of hyperbole when I say, oh, here's this Somalian serial sex offender. He's just been sentenced to 7 years. Trust me, he'll be out in 3. You think I'm being hyperbolic? In the UK, you don't even do half the sentence. I'm telling you, it's routine. They were letting people out who'd done about a third when they were trying to make space for the people that were rude after Southport. Yeah, you remember that, don't you? People getting sent to prison for years for being a little bit impolite. They were letting out serial sex criminals after a third of the sentence to make room for people that were rude on Twitter. I've been telling you lot this for years and you don't listen. You're living in a police state. They don't care about you or your children. They go easy on blokes who roger 10-year-olds and they go hard on people who put stickers on lampposts if they're critical of the left-wing government. That's where you live. So anybody who's thick enough to be, optimistic about things, I'm happy to be the man to pull you down into the lake of burning dog shit. All right? Sorry, rant over. We'll get to the sentence. The 24-year-old was part of a gang that preyed on young girls on purpose and got deported in 2020. Cops confirmed. So, they don't lay out explicitly, but I will. He got deported in 2020, all right? Are you paying attention? He was sentenced to 3 years for tonking a child in 2019. So, I mean, best case scenario, if he did it in January, got sentenced in March, and then got deported in 2020, what the best case scenario is, he's done like a year in prison. Less. Think about it. Sentenced to 3 years in 2019, confirmed deported in 2020. That's what you get when you brutalise a child under the age of 13, like an actual kid in the United Kingdom. This is why the UK is a global embarrassment, honestly. And the fact that we tolerate this, well, we deserve getting laughed at. We should all have to pull a Cersei Lannister, strip bollock naked, and walk through the streets of York every weekend, letting foreigners throw dog shit at us, because we're an embarrassment of a people. Anyway, I'll finish up before I have a stroke. Balatu, the man who did less than a year in prison for one of the most monstrous crimes imaginable, described as a danger to children, sneaked back into the UK, and he was found living in Manchester. Amazing. So cheers, Carl. There's Shabana's fine efforts on the border. He was only tracked down after he filed a universal credit claim. So the confidence they have, they're actually confident to try and do benefit fraud when they've already been deported. So they're all doing it because they know that our systems don't work and our government's not interested in deporting people. They wouldn't have the confidence. You wouldn't do it. If you got deported from somewhere, you wouldn't be greedy enough or stupid enough to try and put a claim in for benefits, but they're confident enough to try it because they know they get away with it 99 times out of 100. Think. And now we get to the coup de grace. It's amazing. The full-blown diddler was arrested in March after a coordinated operation led by the GMP's SOM unit. And what did he get? So now he's not just a diddler gang member and a full-blown attacker and brutalizer of little children. Now he's a border criminal, he's a benefits cheat. He ignored the law. He came back after we deported him last time. He got sentenced to 1 year and 6 months. So that means if he did a year after getting sentenced to 3, he'd probably be out in 3 months, won't he? And what's he going to do? Well, they might deport him. They might do. They probably won't. They'll lose him in the system. And even if they do, he'll just come back. Won't he? And then he'll put in for benefits again under an assumed name. And this time he'll probably get away with it because our nation is an embarrassment. And why wouldn't he try again? When you're as soft as a second-hand arsehole and you get a man like this and you send him to prison for 3 months when he nicks back into the country after he's already been given a slapped wrist the first time he got locked up. Why wouldn't he? Not only will they let him back in, David Lammy will tuck him in and read him a story at night. Oh, sorry, David Lammy.
If it feels like neighbourhood policing has vanished, it's not around you. We haven't seen a police while I've been here, and I've been here for a little while now.
Well, it doesn't matter if you see a copper in England, does it? Because they're about as much use as a nun's tits. Absolute joke. Anyway, that'll have to do you for the day. Let me know what you think in the comments. Please get angry. It's long past time we got angry. There's his face, just in case you see him wanking at your local play park in about 4 months' time when they let him out again. Keep your eyes peeled and keep yourselves informed. All right? Thanks for tuning in, ladies and gents. I'll see you all in a bit. Toodle pip. Cheers.